Welcome to today's class. In the previous class, we started discussing security and loss prevention, which is the course itself, security and loss prevention. And we are going to be wrapping up the course as we attempt to look at loss prevention. Yesterday, we extensively looked at the first part of the course, which is security, and today we're going to look at loss prevention. We said security and loss prevention management generally involves implementing strategies and practices to protect an organization's assets, minimize risks, prevent theft, and enhance overall safety. That was what we defined it as yesterday. And we said it's a discipline that encompasses various functions, which includes you have to plan, yes, you have to budget, you have to organize, there has to be staffing, directing, and also controlling measures, which we looked at. Then we talked about that loss prevention is crucial for maximizing profits by managing preventable loss or losses. In the retail industry, for example, business face significant losses due to theft, can be shoplifting, can be errors, can be fraudulent activities. Okay, so businesses face that challenge. Businesses face that challenge. So we have to put in effective systems to see how both security can be in place and losses can be prevented within a particular system. So security and loss prevention management is a comprehensive discipline focused on safeguarding organizations' assets, ranging from physical property and information to also human resource management. Okay, so that were the definitions we examined yesterday. So we are doing a quick review, or if you want to use the word, a quick recap. Then we looked at security. What is security loss prevention? We said security loss prevention is an essential business function that helps companies to minimize their risk, to prevent theft, and also increase overall safety of the company. It most often applies to retail settings, but other industries such as manufacturing, transportation, hotel, and food service may also hire loss prevention professionals. Loss prevention professionals helps companies address internal and external threats, helping companies increase their bottom line and prevent criminal activity. So we're able to look at that also as an extension of security and loss prevention, which of course will help companies minimize a lot of risk. Then we proceeded to talk about key components of security and loss prevention management, key components. The first, we looked at several components, which we also dissected. The first one was risk assessment and risk analysis. That's in understanding security. We first of all look at risk assessment and risk analysis. Then we look at policy development. Then we looked at implementation of security measures. We also examined employee training, that is training and incident response reporting. Those were the key components we examined. So under risk assessment and risk analysis, we looked at identification of potential threats, where you identify the threats. Then we looked at evaluation of risk. Okay, evaluation of risks. Then we looked at prioritization of resources that will be used in managing those risks that have been identified. So after we looked at risk assessment analysis, then we looked at policy development, that there has to be policies put in place. We have to create safety and security policies to help manage, and that those policies will be made known to all and sundry. I would say the creation of policies involve to develop comprehensive policies that outline acceptable behavior, security protocols, and procedures. Then these policies should cover areas such as data protection, access control, and also emergency response. Then we looked at regulatory and legal and regulatory compliance. We looked at communication and training. Then we proceeded to look at implementation of security measures. How do you implement security measures? Physical security control, like installation of surveillance system, access control, alarms. Then we looked at technological solution, deploying cybersecurity, firewalls, intrusion detection systems, security personnel, that where you now engage individuals. Then we said it's important to have good employee training and awareness. Employee training and awareness. And under employee training and awareness, we said regular training programs. Yes, regular and consistent training programs, fostering a security system and culture. Then incident reporting mechanisms. And that incident reporting is making sure that the activities are promptly and well and timely reported. Then we talked about employee training awareness, okay, which we just looked at. Then incident and response recovery. Develop a response plan. Yes, there has to be a system. What are the people or workers in a particular place supposed to do when there is an incident, when there is a challenge, when there is a problem? So there has to be an incident response and recovery system. So develop a response plan. Regular testing and drills. Testing and drills has to do with, as I made mention in the last class, that a drill is a simulation of a real life incident or scenario so that people can tell what to do and know what to do in the advent of a problem. So post-incident analysis, and lastly, post-incident analysis, where you have to do, after an incident, you have to review if your system was effective. Did everyone understand what to do? Were they able to effectively deal with the issue, that hazard or that problem that were they able to effectively deal with it? So this should be taken note of. So I said today we're going to look at loss prevention, but the course is security and loss prevention. Now, what is loss prevention? Loss prevention refers to the strategic effort enforced by businesses, companies, organizations to reduce and prevent loss to assets, to prevent losses to assets and what? And preserve revenue. Loss of asset, loss of revenue. Article. Loss of assets and loss. Guys, this is it. Of revenue. These losses can include theft. People steal a lot. So if you're bringing in a system, you want to prevent losses by making sure that, you reduce those kind of losses. Have you called him? Okay. Then fraud, operational errors, among other things. Loss prevention involves a variety of strategies and best practices aimed at safeguarding the company's resources and ensuring efficiency. Okay, so does loss prevention differ from loss control and inspection? Yes. Now, I want to see the difference between loss prevention and loss control. Now, a loss control inspection is known as loss control, also known as loss control survey. It's an assessment of a client's workplace, their facilities. You examine their equipment and processes performed by the representative of an insurance company. That is loss control inspection, which is known as loss control survey. But we also have, okay, the goal of this assessment is to identify ways in which the insurance company can help their client minimize hazards for workers and assets, saving them money by reducing insurance costs and avoiding asset breakdown, which leads towards lost productivity. So, loss prevention, how does it differ from loss control inspection? And we said it differs from loss control inspection in the sense that in loss control inspection or survey, An insurance company carries out a proper assessment and inventory of the workplace, of the facilities, of the processes, okay, so that it will reduce the risks that are inherent in that particular place. So the goal of this is to identify the ways in which the insurance company can help their clients reduce hazard, can help clients reduce hazard to workers, so that you can effectively help them save money by reducing costs in the long run. So why is loss prevention important? Why is loss prevention important? Obviously, loss prevention is a type of risk assessment that aims to maximize a business enterprise profit by better managing, preventable losses. Retail shrink, a preventable loss in retail industry, costs so much in statistics due to theft. So within business environment, losses are experienced from thefts, shoplifting, errors, fraudulent activities by both internal and external mediums. So loss prevention aims to proactively address this by implementing best practices and strategies. So loss prevention best practices. First of all, loss prevention best practices or preventive measures can be implemented in three fronts. Number one, processes, procedures, systems, and people. But number one, processes and procedures. Number one, systems. And number two, people. What are the processes and procedures? What are the processes and procedures? Let's look at process and procedure, which are business policies. Now, processes has to do with the in-between, the go-between, the how of a thing is done, the A to B, in between A and B. What are the steps that are followed? This is what we refer to as processes. These are business policies in your company and standard operating procedures you implement in operations that work together to foster an environment that deters activities that could lead to what? Losses. Policies that can help prevent loss can be something as simple as house rules, something as stringent as company policies, employment handbooks, that outline acceptable behavior and describe corresponding repercussions for non-compliance. So processes and procedure has to do with, do you have all the systems in place? Do you have all the guidelines? Do you have all the rules, the regulations? Is there a worker handbook? Yes, a handbook that details what should be done, what should not be done, punishment for breaking the laws. Okay, all of these things has to do with processes and procedure. Another form of procedure that can help prevent loss is implementation of business continuity plan, which aims to lay down proactive strategies for uninterrupted business activity during emergencies. Okay, the next is systems and technology, which includes technology for monitoring and surveillance systems used in business that can help monitor operations and maintain the integrity and efficient use of business resources. Maintain integrity and efficient use of business resources, company assets, sensitive data, products and services, as well as proper implementation of these processes. So system and technology comes in to reduce human input and thereby reducing, should I use the word, managing time and helping more to be achieved in less time. Okay, so technology can be in the form of CCTVs and track daily happenings in stores and production floors, or monitoring tools used for internal audits and daily inspections of operations. The next one is people. So if you remember, we said that if you're dealing with loss prevention, we want to look at three major areas. First of all, processes and procedures. Number two, systems and technology. Number three, people. One of the most crucial contributors to loss prevention are the employees. The more aligned employees are with your loss prevention efforts, the more effective are your processes and systems in place to prevent unnecessary loss in the business. In retail stores and other customer-facing establishments, employees that are engaged with the visitors not only help promote a good impression of the business, but also can also serve as a deterrent to unwarranted activities such as theft, shoplifting, or listening that can lead to what? Losses. So we are saying that people play one of the most cardinal role, because even if you have systems and technology, sometimes systems and technology are manned and controlled by humans, are manned and controlled by people. And so you want to get the best of people that you can work with, yes, that you can trust, that because they will engage visitors, engage staff, engage other workers within the system. So it's impossible to get good impression about the business, and also serve as a deterrent to poor or bad activities such as theft or shoplifting. Okay, so when these three systems are in place, it's going to help to effectively manage loss. So let's look at loss prevention strategies. First of all, we'll look at loss can come in many forms, and the best way to cover your basis is to address the causes of the loss that are prevalent in an industry of a particular area of business. Here are loss prevention strategies and tools that can be used for your business. Number one, retail loss prevention. Loss prevention is popular in retail, very popular in retail, because of retail makes it potentially vulnerable to loss if preventable measures are not put in place. For sizable equipment, loss prevention is easier to manage. I mean, if you're dealing with manufacturing where you're making big equipments and machines, you can tell that it's difficult to steal machines. Yes, except if you want to steal nuts and bolts, but it's difficult to steal machine. But when you're talking about retail, maybe producing biscuits, selling sweets, selling basic stationery items that can easily be shoplifted or hidden by staff. So retail shrinkage is the loss of inventory caused by shoplifting, employee theft, vendor fraud, damage, intrusion, unauthorized breaches, administrative error, cashier error, all of those things, you see, they amount to a lot. Retail shrinkage is the difference between what is recorded on the inventory and the actual inventory of the retail establishment. Yeah, so shrinkage leads to loss of inventory, which directly translates to loss of profits and is something that cannot be sold anymore. So tools for retail loss prevention. Number one, regular store audit checklist. Yes, just be proper checklist. Retail store managers, loss of prevention officers, and store employees can work together and use the following tools. So there has to be audit. Audit is a detailed checking of what was, what is, how much, how much was sent, was produced, 100 cartons was brought. How many were sold? 98 cartons. What of the remaining 2 cartons? That's a question that must be answered. Okay. So, audit, you have detailed audit, periodic audit. Is it monthly audit, quarterly audit? What kind of audit system will help to effectively check all of these things? Number two, inspect the product and store layout, promotional materials, window displays, check if they are up to date and appropriate or appealing to customers. Assess all employees' adherence to company protocol, safety and emergency procedures, and check if they demonstrate product knowledge. Check if store materials and electrical systems are in good working condition. Summarize observations and affix a digital signature for the store audit report. Use the safety culture scheduling feature to make sure you never miss conducting another store audit. So store audit is one. Number two, risk assessment. The risk assessment is to check for the safety content within a system. Yes, if you do not check for When safety content is not checked for, and when the level of risk is high, then the potential for theft is more. When the risk is high, the potential for loss is more. Okay, so you want to lower possibilities of risks level. You want to lower possibilities of risk level. So risk assessment is a strategy to proactively determine risk and come up with preventive measures. You know, let me call this one. He wants to bring something to the office. Calling with your phone. I don't want the network to be affected. So risk assessment is a strategy to proactively determine risk and come up with preventive measures and mitigate. That's me, you should call him, but I'm having a problem. So in incidents and accidents within business premises could lead to losses that could have been prevented in the first place by minimizing the possibilities of those events from occurring. Okay, so cybersecurity and data loss. Cybersecurity and data loss prevention. Digital and cyber threats abound as businesses of various sizes and industry are becoming more reliant on the convenience and interconnectedness brought by digital technology in running day-to-day operations, with the risk of penalties due to non-compliance with industry regulations. On data security, millions of dollars can be lost due to, hackers and the rest of them. So cybersecurity can easily be managed or better used as a data loss prevention system. Tools for cybersecurity and data loss prevention. IT managers, IT administrators, IT specialists are responsible for making sure that computers, networks, and other digital assets of an organization are secure from threats by proactively monitoring the use of computer and data assets. Cybersecurity checklist. Cybersecurity checklist. A cybersecurity checklist helps assess the current status of cyber security controls. Okay, so how can you help? If properly done, cybersecurity checklist can a cybersecurity checklist can help assess the current status of cybersecurity controls within the business. Okay, and how can it be used? Evaluate the personnel and physical security of the workplace, check compliance with accounts, okay, evaluate employee security awareness, and validate reports with digital signature, I mean. So then computer maintenance checklist. Computer maintenance checklist, employee buy-in and competence. Then we're looking at tools for all of these are various tools that we use. So let me list them again that we use in helping loss prevention. We said audit, risk assessment, cybersecurity and data loss prevention. And the tools that we can use for cybersecurity are cybersecurity checklist, computer maintenance checklist, employee buy-in and competency is the next one. So tools that employees can use, employee evaluation form, employee onboarding lists. Okay, they use this when they're in their workplace, coming in, going out. They use it to check what do we have, what is not available. Okay, so then the loss prevention tool we have, okay, as a platform used in implementing and reinforcing business strategies and industry best practices, safety culture can help your business proactively solve issues through actionable insight and integration with business intelligence platforms. So you can bring in a good safety culture. And we said a culture is a way of things, a way of doing something. So real-time monitoring of updates, automation, and paperless processes so that everybody can see what is happening then, quality and safety audits controls. So the loss prevention strategies, we have risk avoidance. You can connect it. Let me just create. You have risk avoidance and risk mitigation, where you can deal with risk transfer. Risk avoidance, risk reduction, which is mitigation. Then risk transfer, you transfer the risk and the financial burden. Then risk retention practices. So when you get your manual and this material, go through and listen to all that we have discussed in this class. And I wish us all the best. Thank you for being part of today's class. Bye-bye.